आखिर दिल है ना, मीठी सी मुश्किल है ना पिया, ना पिया 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 ना पिया, जिया 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 ना जिया दिल से रे, 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 दिल से रे.
Thank you so much for coming, man. It's my
My
absolute
pleasure.
honor to have you.
Same here, my pleasure. Thank you for having me, and it's so good to see you in this wonderful room of yours. Amazing. Great, man.
I've called it the ARR room actually.
Perfect. That's perfect.
And yeah, sir has seen these pictures as well, so I think he likes it.
I'm sure. I mean, I love it, man. It's amazing.
Thanks. I mean, the thing is, the way I thought about it was whenever I entered this room, I wanted it to bring a lot of positivity in me. And this is my office room at home. So when
Yes.
I work, I wanted to be focused and I wanted to be surrounded by things that I absolutely love. And of course, there's one thing I immensely love is him.
Yeah.
And that's why I needed all those treasured pictures where I have with him. And then, yeah, that's it. I want to live my dream when I'm in this room.
So that's true. And I'll, on the same note, I'd like to say that it does actually make a difference. When you spend a lot of time, like say, for example, for us, it's the studio.
Correct.
So wherever you are, you want to be always positive and encouraged and feel refreshed.
Yeah.
So having things around, it be pictures, it be colors, memories, whatever that make you feel good, that's really important. So I completely understand and dig, how you got this room with your love for Rahman sir. It's amazing, I'm sure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, buddy. And on that note, may I ask, what does your studio look like? So when you entered your studio, what's that thing that gets you into that creative space and takes you into that zone?
Well, actually, I think there are two parts to it. One is, there is this vibration that you feel in a
Yes.
place,
Yeah.
which is something which you don't see. It's like it's invisible, but it's energies and all, which also gets created when you, in a way, if you are praying at a place, or I think music is also like prayers, right? I mean, it's
Yes.
like a praying, and it's very divine. And
Yeah.
how I just spoke about is that
Yes.
I very strongly believe, which even sir has mentioned, that when we make music, it's like there's this divine, it's the flow, and we are the medium, and there is this source that's sent through.
Correct.
So, in a way, all these things, it just makes that space, which we call as a studio, very vibrant, and there's this whole positivity. So that's one part of it. When I get into my studio, I feel that energy, and it just makes you feel that you just want to be here. It's like feeling, in a way, as you're meditating, that way.
Yeah.
So that's one part of it, which you feel and you don't really see it.
Yeah.
The other part is, the whole environment is like, so this studio, I used to be at an older place earlier, some years back, but since last 2-3 years now, we've shifted the studio to this place, and there's a lot of attention being spent in things like, even the color of, the room and all those colors that keep you refreshed, because we spend like almost the entire day or sometimes days together, working in there. So those things, they've been chosen really, thinking about, you can be there and spend a lot of time staying positive and not stressed and tired. And then I have like I have these instruments of mine, my keyboards and all. I have you must have seen maybe some videos where playing and then there are these keyboard stacks. So it's exciting.
Come to that. I have.
So every time when I have excitement, wow, this is let's as a musician, there's always for me as a keyboard player, I'm always excited about the some brand new instrument. It'd be a keyboard. It'd be some it'd be some tech gadget and all. So that also keeps the interest going on. When I see, one of the reasons why the keyboards are, besides the musical reason being, I can always have my instruments available, whenever I want to use anything. And the other thing is, it also keeps you interested and excited, seeing. That's my personal, point of view. I don't know if everyone agree to that, but I think, as you were wanting to know how's my studio and how it feels. So these things just make it exciting. And every day when I walk in there, it makes me feel to spend more time in there, So yeah.
Awesome.
Something room.
Say that again.
For you, how your room is for you, right?
Exactly. And the thing is, actually, I have two questions for you on that note. What color is your studio? You said you had to choose the colors.
Yeah.
Specific.
So it's like the major part of my studio is this English green color. It's like a like a kind of a lemon green kind of a shade.
Yeah.
Which is it's not really a very busy color. It's relaxing. It doesn't really take a lot of, and actually color do affect your. There is a whole theory about it, right? Like how they affect your mind.
Correct.
So we chose this color, and then there is a part of there's a part of the studio which is like there's a light that runs behind it, and it's got colorful flower shades, which is one part of it. Sofa in the sitting area is, and then there is on the ceiling. We have a gray color patch, which is again that English color thing. Basically, the intention was to have it really relaxing and positive. And I personally love bright color, white color. There are some portions where we have white color in the studio.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the color texture of my studio.
Awesome, man. And may I ask if Sir's studio also has similar colors or along the same lines? Is it?
I think the new Panchatan has a lot of colors in a way. I guess the outside.
Is Sir a colorful person?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
I think so. And he loves colors because I've seen quite some of his work. There was this this band he curated. This Nux, right?
Yes.
Which was really cool. If you see all the artists in the band, they had these colorful, colors painted. It's amazing, actually. So I think that somewhere represents his love for colors. He really loves colors, and
awesome, man.
His music is full of colors.
I agree. Dude, the second thing I had in my mind to ask you, since you mentioned about the colors and the studio, obviously we all know that Sir lights up a candle and stuff when he composes, right? The question is, does he still do that? And now, having worked with him for all these years, do you do that too? What's the thing that you do? Just curious.
Actually, I've never seen Sir do that, but I've heard this from someone. Renzel De Silva, sir, he's a director with whom I had done a film called Ugly. And I had done the music. I had done 2 songs on that film. And Renzel sir, he was also responsible. He was also, I think, involved with Rang De Basanti. If I'm remembering correctly, he wrote. I think he wrote the script. He was involved with the script. And Renzel sir, I remember him telling me this, that he's actually witnessed Sir working, in that candle environment. So with me, I haven't really done it, but the way I understand it is, it's like minimum light means, that much focus. Your mind is not really busy in engaged in thinking about collecting the information about how much light or how many colors. So the way I understand this is, it's a practice to focus your attention, concentration much more. So there's no much of distraction. I've not really done it, but I really look forward to do it. In fact, I've really wanted to do that since time. Yeah.
Okay. But to be honest with you, Gulraj, you know what? I have actually done that after having inspired from Sir. And not that I do it every day, but there are moments where I'm into IT, and of course, I build a lot of business applications on Microsoft technology and stuff. And then there are certain projects which are very, very complex and requires me to focus a lot more than normal or the usual is the right word. And that's when I light up a candle. And of course, 24 bar 7 Sir's music plays in the background. And that helps me focus anyway. But sometimes I do that more specifically, thinking that, okay, this will just draw my attention towards this more and I'll be able to focus more. So that's my personal thing.
Yeah.
That's something that I've taken from Sir.
Also I feel, at the end of the day, we are all organic beings, right? Like we are human beings. So I always feel that the more closer we are to nature, like it's like a simple feeling when you're on a hilltop or when you're in a forest and when you hear these bird chirps and it just or for simple, like I at times do it. It sounds funny, but I just put on if I'm wanting to meditate or not meditate, just feel relaxed. I just put in some water sound effects and like just to get that. I mean, actually, I should be sitting next to a river or something, but it's not possible always. So what I'm trying to say is the whole organic point, like light being the most organic source of fire. I mean, which the candle uses. It being the most organic, it's the element, right? So I do think there is this somewhere this kind of this relation also, that we relate to it as organic beings, and it does work a lot.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, obviously, look, with the current situation that we are in, with this lockdown and stuff like that, of course, it has changed things 180 degrees for absolutely everyone in this world. And so, what does this lockdown actually mean to you? How is this? How are you coping up with that? And does this actually mean more creative space for you?
See, it's actually subjective, and it's going to be different for everybody, I guess. So.
Yes, I agree.
So, for me, it's like it's definitely a great time to be with your family. I'm able to spend more time with my daughter. She's 4 years old.
Of course.
And equally as I am, she's excited as well. It's great, and so that's amazing. But also, what happens is, we all have our routines. Schedules every day. So our whole we are set to an inertia, right? Our whole system is set to an inertia, which has certainly got shaken. Like I would be spending a lot of time in my studio, and that's where I find that as my creative space, and so now I am able to do that. So I'm genuinely missing being in my studio. So we are all coping up with that, though. Looking forward at the good things, like as I mentioned, being with your family, and the way I'm compensating my work side is I just got I have a basic setup at home which I'm trying to use, continue working. There's some projects which we're already going on. The other good side I feel is also that I think whatever has happened is also in a way kind of a reset mode for the entire nature. Like we are noticing, we are there's it's all in the news. Like you can see animals. There's a lot of like on the beach and all. You see some some rare species of turtles coming out, and
indeed
like wildlife is out. We had a monkey bouncing around our society a few days back. So and obviously things like you can hear some different kinds of birds chirp, and it's amazing. So nature is getting its space as well. And in a way it's a lesson to all of us that there's been a lot of messing up being done from all the humans, the nature, which has this is like a lesson that we take this seriously. So it's that, and I think for us also it's like in a way it's kind of a reset button. Also there is, because there is not, since everyone is not really busy with their schedules, the regular schedules, there's a lot of time. Maybe each one of us is getting to spend time with each one of us, right? Like I'm also looking at it, it's like a kind of a sabbatical where you spend some time learning new things also, and so I'm trying to also, of course, there is quite some music that I'm listening to, new music, concerts I'm watching, but at the same time, new household things also I'm trying to. Some things have been so that's another thing, that's the pro that you're getting to learn new things to cope up with what's happening, and
of course.
yeah. At the end of the day, it's all. Let's hope that this whole this whole thing, this phase passes by, and it's difficult for quite some people, especially those who are dependent, those who need to work every day, to get their source of, to get their meal for the day and maybe for
indeed.
So it's a very difficult, dark time for quite some of those people also. And
absolutely.
Hopefully God bless it. God bless each one of us, and things get better.
I agree, buddy. Yeah, thank you so much for that, man.
This time is basically a mixture of all these things going on. It's like lots going on. Actually.
Yeah, I know, dude. The thing is, look. Interestingly enough, when we think about it, not less than just about exactly 2 months ago. This is like today is the 14th of April, right? And 14th of Feb was the concert in Trichy, and even then. Probably wouldn't. It's exactly 2 months ago. We wouldn't have thought that something like this was going to happen in 8 weeks' time from that day, and it's unimaginable. And now the thing is, since I mentioned about Trichy, right? I honestly wanted to thank you for all the greatest memories, man, because it's. I should say that it was. I have traveled for a number of concerts, for Sir's concerts, no doubt. But this one especially was a dream trip for me for various reasons. And also the fact that I was able to make some lifelong friends like yourself. The fact that you obliged to come on my podcast and talk about your experience and stuff like that. It makes me feel very honored, buddy. I just wanted to say thank you for that, man. And it really means a lot.
I would say it's mutual, and it's really sweet of you. And I think there be no formalities, man. Really. So
no, not really. But the thing is, it meant a lot for me. That's all I'm trying to say.
It's amazing, and I want to tell you this. And I'm not saying this. I'm not trying to start a mutual admiration club right now. But I want to say this genuinely that you really come across a warm person, and
thanks, buddy.
You get it. When you meet people, you feel. You feel the things, you feel the energies, and and you kind of you're cool with that. So I think you've earned it in a way. You've been so sweet to everybody, and it's my absolute pleasure, to be here with you, and and to have this wonderful conversation.
Thanks, man.
General stuff, and also about the man himself. The amazing Rahman sir.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy. The thing is, look, of course, each one of us have our own journeys, and then likewise, Yoda had your own journey too, right? I'm very curious to know, where did the musical journey begin? When did it all start? It'll be amazing to hear about it. I'm pretty sure there will be a lot more others who would be wanting to hear about your journey as well.
Yeah, so I'll try to make it short because it's a long thing. But
you can talk for days, man. Don't worry, I have got the time.
No, so see, for me, I come from a artist family actually.
Yeah.
Both my parents, they are artists. They are into actually. So my father is into fine arts. He's into painting and all.
Yeah. Awesome.
My mother is she specializes in this special. So they there is this art where they color copper. It's a whole process.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Both of my parents they were studying in this is one of the oldest art schools in Bombay. It's called the Indian School of Art. It's where they met actually. So there was art in the family, and I, in a way, when I was really very young, I was exposed to a lot.
You're still young, buddy.
I'm talking when I was a kid, and there was a lot of music in house. Like my father would play a lot of music.
Yeah.
He would play a lot of Punjabi folk music,
Yeah.
songs, the old film songs from that time, like in
Yeah.
the 80s, when I was growing up
Yeah.
as a kid, and ghazals. So that
Yeah.
all was indirectly being, I was actually exposed to it.
Mhm.
And I remember there used to be a harmonium kept in our house, the older house where I used to stay. It used to belong to my auntie, one of my aunts,
Right.
and
Right.
I used to just play random notes on that harmonium, like not
Wow.
really a song or
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
I would just
Yeah.
which somewhere it was just a melody, which now I
Mm.
feel that maybe they were my very early, maybe years, or the getting my hands on composition
Mm.
in a way. Maybe
Mm.
this is what I
Yeah.
think. But I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
play something. I used to find it fascinating. Play some
Yeah.
notes in succession.
Yeah.
And then eventually I was given the toy keyboards and stuff, and I would play some
Yeah.
stuff on it. I would play
Yeah.
some songs, popular songs from that time, which I was listening to on TV,
Yeah.
television, radio.
Awesome.
So my parents kind of realized that there is something I have towards music, some inclination towards music, and
Mm.
they've been really encouraging.
Mm.
Um, so then they gifted me a little more bigger keyboard.
Beautiful.
Uh, it was a Casio keyboard, and
Yeah.
the model name used to be PT90. That's the keyboard. It was
Okay.
small.
Okay.
And and see, I mean, I come from a middle class family, right? So also,
Yeah.
I really it just fills my heart, that to
Yeah.
remember how parents also, able
True.
to get that instrument at that point of time. It must have
True.
been
I
really
agree.
very much.
Totally agree.
But
Yeah.
tried, they were trying their best to encourage me,
Yeah.
and I used to start playing on that. I started playing stuff on that, and then my mother, she spoke to one of my music teachers in the school that he has some interest in music, and
Yeah.
can you give him a chance to be in the school band group. There used to be a
Yeah.
school band,
Yeah.
and but this teacher of mine, he said that he's too young to be a part of the school band group. But anyways, they called me into school one of
Yeah.
the days with my keyboard, and they just asked me to play something. Okay, let's see
Mm.
what you.
Mm.
So I just played some stuff, which I was playing on the keyboard that time, some songs and all,
Yeah.
and it kind of fascinated them.
Yeah.
So then there was this function in the school where I was asked to be a part of. It used to be called the orchestra, where we
Right.
would like play instruments and also. In a way, that was my introduction to getting on stage. I was asked
Mm.
to be a part of one orchestra event, and we just
Yeah.
played. And slowly, I kind of gained popularity in the school as a musician. So
Awesome.
I would be heavily involved in all the the activities, cultural activities as a musician. I
Awesome.
would represent my school for different competitions. I started my formal training as in classical music. I started
Great.
learning
Great.
harmonium. My two gurus, there used to be this madam who taught me, Mrs. Joshi ma'am, and Pandit Pradeep Chitniji, from whom I
Awesome.
learned Indian classical
Awesome.
and also harmonium. So that was my training in Indian music. So I
Yeah.
was doing that parallelly,
Yeah.
and then when I'm trying to make it short because, as I told, it's kind of a
No,
long
no.
story. I don't
Yeah.
want to make it
Well,
boring,
no, no, not at all.
but
It's interesting.
it was very much. I was also getting a lot of encouragement from my
Mm.
family, and that. And I want to say this is because it does really play a lot of important. It does play a very important role in your life, even in your coming years. So in my school, I was so heavily encouraged. I used to be called. They used to call me as the music director of the school, and
Right.
at that point in time, it felt really great. So
Awesome.
I was. Yeah, it just encouraged me a lot. My
Mm.
formal training in Western music started when I started my college, and my sir, he used to actually only take college students
Mm.
and only boys or males,
Okay.
because the reason is he was very honest with one thing. He first of all, he thought that I mean, that was what he thought, that when children are going in college and or they have passed
Yeah.
their 10th standard, and they
Yeah.
kind of become more serious, and
Yeah.
So he wanted serious students, and he was a bit strict. He just thought that probably girls, they may not take that, they may not be ready to face his
Yeah.
nature. So he was very in a way honest of him. So he just
Yeah.
thought
Yeah.
boys. His name was George Almeida. Almeida sir, George Almeida sir. We
Nice.
lost him a few years back,
Oh,
unfortunately. I
sorry.
learned a lot of from him.
Yeah.
So parallelly, I was also I had already started also performing professionally now.
Yeah.
I started off with a lot of since I am brought up in this town in Maharashtra called Thane. There's a
Mm.
lot of Marathi speaking audience people around, and my mother is a Maharashtrian, and I would like to also mention that my grandfather, my mother's father, used to be a very famous poet. His
Oh, wow.
name is Shri Janardhan Dhage. Like
So-
I think that's also a blessing from him that I do have with me.
Yeah.
So I started off doing a lot of local shows there as Marathi shows, and
Mm.
slowly, I was getting more exposed to a lot of other stuff.
Awesome.
I started meeting more musicians who are now my really good friends. Like I don't know if you know Darshan Doshi. He's a
Oh,
very
yeah.
one of the most
Of course.
drummers in
Yeah.
India. So we used to meet in competitions and stuff, and then eventually we had a band together. It used to be a rock band, a neoclassical. This is a style of music called neoclassical, which is like it's like
Awesome.
playing West together. I was also a part of another rock band called Eclipse.
Wow.
So basically, I was getting exposed to playing music professionally, and
Yeah.
that really helped me a lot. To get
Awesome.
uh, you kind of get over stage fear and all.
Yeah.
And then my first uh, celebrity artist, I may say, from the Hindi film industry, from the film music industry, with whom I started playing as a keyboard player was Kunal Ganjawala.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was my
Really?
so that was my like he was the first celebrity singer artist, from
Yeah.
the film industry with whom I started performing music from the music industry. That happened, and I was introduced to Loy sir from Shankar Ehsan Loy
Yeah.
because
Roy.
his son was Loy Mandal sir. His son was he is actually Shane. He's a very good friend of mine,
Right.
and I had met him at a friend's studio.
Yeah.
One of my friends, his name is Kenneth D'Souza. He used to have a studio in Thane.
Okay.
So Kenneth knew Loy sir, and Shane, Loy sir's son. He used to come to work there. And I told Shane, and I told him, man, I want to meet your father. What a great musician! And I was looking ahead to work with them as well, as a
Yeah.
music producer.
Yeah.
So it was cool, and he used to live. Loy sir used to stay very close to my parents' house right now, which is
Yeah.
in Thane.
Yeah.
And so I got this meeting fixed with him on one of the Sundays. I remember I went with my very close friend Manoj Yadav. He writes lyrics.
Yeah.
So, and I remember I played him some of the stuff that I had produced, and he heard. I must have played him some 7-8 songs, and
Yeah.
it was so amazing to see someone like him, someone
Yeah.
as busy as him, to take all the time, and he patientfully heard each track, without even saying, "Okay, move on to the next track."
Yeah.
And he liked my work, and he called me after a few days that
Yeah.
hi, this is Loy from the Shankar and Loy trio, and I was like it's a question because I was not really ready for it, in a way.
Yeah.
And wow, so then he called me. He was like, him and Ehsan's they were actually
Yeah.
doing some play,
Yeah.
music for some play, and he asked me, would you like to produce it, would you like
Wow.
to do the music production? I was like, of course.
Awesome.
And he called me to meet him and Ehsan in Yashra's studio where they were working, and
Mm.
I stepped in, and I met Shankar Madhavan sir, because of course they were working on. I think they were
Yeah.
working on. I think they were working on Dhoom.
Oh, wow.
Not sorry, not Dhoom. Joom Barabar.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That film is called Joom Barabar. Joom Barabar.
Joom
Yeah,
Barabar.
Joom Barabar Joom. Yeah. So they were
Yeah.
working on that project,
Yeah,
and I also got to meet Shankar Bhai, the great Shankar
Awesome.
Madhavan sir, and it was amazing. So and then Loy sir was like, he just asked me to play something, like, hey,
Yeah.
you're a keyboard player. So I played some stuff and all, and he liked it. So he kept that in mind, and so this project, actually, the funny part is this project for which I was called That never happened. But he would keep calling me, that, hey, that's gonna happen, but that never happened. But I think it was just meant for me to get introduced to Shankar S. Loy.
Yeah.
That happened, and then I was offered to play, in their band as a keyboard player.
Awesome.
And that's been a real long association for me with them.
Awesome. Man.
I performed with them live for almost 8-9 years.
Wow.
And I was doing their music production work. They would call me to produce music for them.
Yeah.
The first film on which I worked on with them was Johnny Gaddar. There's a track I've been credited also. My name is credited on that track. It's called Johnny Beat Mera Naam. There was this interesting track which was like a collage of dialogues from the old film Johnny Mera Naam.
Mm-hmm.
That and dialogues from the new Johnny Gaddar film.
Right.
I had to use the theme that Shankar S. Loy had composed. So that I made this track.
Awesome.
And I also I want to say that Shankar S. Loy, they've been really a big support to me in my life, and they've been so helpful to me. Even when I did my own projects, they've been on board with that. Through the journey, I met another very special person who's also like family to me, Ranjit Barot sir.
Oh yeah, of course.
He's like a guru, and I have no words to explain or to mention my relationship with him, because he's actually much more than just a guru. Also, in a lot of ways, we've all grown up listening to
of course,
their music. And even today, there are so many advices that we get, that he keeps giving us, and there's so much of learning. So that started alongside.
Yeah,
I got the opportunity to also work with Salim Sulaiman as to play with them in their band, and so I was doing parallelly a lot of music production work and of course keyboard playing work.
Yeah,
and then there was this album called Gulraj Singh, which I did. Which I mentioned right a few days back.
Which I was actually about to ask you. That was going to be my next question. So you jumped into that straight. Go for it.
It's one long story, man.
No, it was very good. I would love to hear more about this album because you were so passionate about it when you mentioned about it. So I would love to hear more.
Actually, the reason I'm hooking that up, patching up to this discussion is because that album kind of changed a lot of things for me. It was a dream project for me and my friend Manoj Yadav. Manoj written all the lyrics on all those songs. The idea was to come up with a album on Lord Ganesha, but with all original songs, compositions, lyrics, and it reflected. It was like it's an independent project, right? So it reflected a lot of my sensibilities. It was like me going through zero filter. It just reflected my influences, my inspirations. So it was like the songs were based on Lord Ganesha, but the arrangements and all were very modern, contemporary. They had influences of jazz, R&B, world music. So that album actually changed a lot of things for me because as I mentioned, I was kind of known a lot as a producer, keyboard player. This album kind of introduced me as a composer as well.
Right.
People around, and that just changed a lot of things for me. And eventually, that led to I did a film called, I just mentioned about Ranjit sir, right? So that film happened. I was contacted by someone from Dharma Productions, which is by Karan Johar sir.
Yes.
So I was contacted because this person from Dharma Productions, he heard my work on Gulraj Singh, and he asked me that, I like your stuff, and we are doing this film, and would you like to pitch in some songs?
Yeah.
So that's how then I landed up doing 2 songs on that film, Adarni Ongli and Pakis.
Awesome.
In fact, before this film happened, I had already done one more film before this. A lot of people think Ongli is my first film because it kind of got noticed well, but there was a film I did before that which unfortunately it didn't get noticed because it didn't do well, and I had done songs, I had done all the songs and background score on it.
Yeah.
But in short, kind of my journey so far.
Community college stuff that you did. I was very keen to know. I mean, I think it's such an honor to be part of that faculty. So, can you tell us more about your experience and what exactly did you do? Sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I did my grade 8 Trinity College of Music and some more grades before that. Um, and I would like to mention on that, on that question, I would like to mention a very important name. My another teacher, his name is Mr. Manikandan Pillai.
Wow.
So Manikandan sir also taught me a lot of things, especially Western classical stuff.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was a good experience. I wanted to do that, and along the way, I met Manikandan sir and learned a lot of things from him.
Great. And anything you want to say to him? A little message that you want to pass it on to him? I'm sure he will listen.
Definitely. So, Manikandan sir, if you're watching this, I really want to thank you. Of course, we are in touch, and I want to share this with you. Sir is so sweet. He keeps sending me some other, he keeps forwarding me some very informative, messages. It'd be about some musical theory or something.
Nice.
And suddenly, if he feels something, if he wants to inform me something, he will call up, and then he just start teaching me something. So
Nice.
I really, really take it as a blessing, and all my gurus. It's really such a blessing to have learned from all of them. Thank you so much.
Awesome, great. I'm sure he will watch this and listen to this. Hey, buddy, I do have another question. I know you have been apart from helping and working with Sir himself. You also have your own projects as well, and
Yes.
I would love to know about what's cooking and what we can expect in the next couple of months. I know we are going through this lockdown stage, but once that's over, I'm pretty sure there's going to be stuff coming out of the studio. Can you tell us a bit more
Yes.
about that?
Definitely, definitely. So I am actually working on some films right now. There's a Marathi film called Pani, which is lined up to get released. It's called Pani,
Wow.
and we were actually supposed to get the film released, sometime soon now, but because of this whole Corona thing, now it's got postponed. And the film also won a national award in the last national awards, and it's been directed by this very talented actor. Adinath Kothare. He's debuting as a director in this film.
Mm.
The film is produced by Priyanka Chopra's production house.
Wow.
So it's really a very exciting project, and I'm really hoping that all of this whole thing gets sorted soon and the film comes out. I'm really excited to share my work that I've done on the film. Parallelly, I'm also working on another film called Unad, which is directed by this amazing director called Aditya Sarpotdar.
Mm.
And I've worked on him. My last project was with him was this web film called The Sholay Girl,
Mhm.
for which I did the music as well. So that's coming up, and there is quite some independent music work I'm working on. Collaborations with different artists, my own things. There is a devotional project
Yeah.
I'm working with the amazing Harshdeep Kaur,
Awesome.
which we are working on right now and hoping to bring it out soon. There is a single I'm working on. It's an English song,
Yeah.
which I'm composing, and the amazing Stasha Tirupati. She's going to sing the song.
Awesome.
And for a lot of people who don't know this, she's amazing. She's a very good writer as well. So
Oh,
she's
wow.
actually writing lyrics on this song as well. So yeah, that's coming up. That's under process. We are working on that song as well, and then there's some collaborations going on. There's also we spoke about Gulraj Singh.
Yeah.
So we are looking at to reboot the album. We are actually looking at to continue the series. So we may not really do like a 10-song album and all like as we've had in the past, but release maybe singles or two songs every Ganeshotsav. Like we that is what is the plan right now,
Awesome.
and we hope that goes well because we got tremendous encouragement from a lot of people. We did that as a trilogy. It came out in 3 parts. So after that, every Ganesh Utsav, people would ask me and Manoj that, hey, are you coming up with an album this year as well? And the best thing is a lot of artists from the music community, they have shown interest to be a part of the album. So that itself is a big encouragement. So that's also lined up. That's coming up. So yeah, like a couple of
Wow.
things in the pipeline going
Sounds
on.
very, very busy. And I feel very fortunate that with your such a busy schedule, you pulled out time to have a chat with me. I feel very honored. Thank you so much,
Well,
buddy.
I think it's I am also fortunate if I'm on this chat and also talking about the amazing Rahman sir. So thank you for having me.
No, not at all. All good. Actually, the thing is, I mean, since you mentioned about a number of your projects, it has triggered off a few questions in my mind. I hope it's okay for me to ask you. I
Please.
have a couple of them. One is the album that you're working with Harshdeep.
Yeah.
So you obviously recently released the track that we spoke about earlier,
Yes.
the devotional song. Was that
Yeah.
song part of the album as well?
No. So basically, the project that we are working on, it's called the Chopai Saab,
Yeah,
and it is actually written by the 10th Sikh Guru,
yeah, yeah.
Shri Guru Gobind Singh Ji, and that is something that we are working on. And but while we were
Mm.
recording this project, and all this whole
Mm.
corona thing had all started. This is before the lockdown actually happened. So Ashdeep and we both were there in the studio, and she just came up. She was like, what, I really feel I want to sing this prayer, and Tati Vayo is the prayer which
Mm.
which
Mm.
which we perform.
Yeah,
And it's actually it's like it helps you get strength and
yeah,
positivity. And she just felt that this is a good time. We really need to do something. And I was like, yes, let's do it. So we just did like a live jam. She sang, and
yeah.
I was playing, and it was yeah, that's how it happened actually.
Yeah, it was great, man. Totally loved it. And how many tracks can we expect from that album when it comes out?
Okay, so that's going to be actually one long track.
Oh,
So
wow.
it probably sounds like it's going to be number of songs, but it's actually one long song. It's got like 25 paragraphs.
Oof.
So, yeah, so it's like a meditative, like meditative track, and the
How
chopais are all
how do you
paragraphs.
even compose for a track like this, which goes for so long?
So, well, the idea was, I mean, Harjeep, she shared all the lyrics with me, the content,
Yeah, yeah,
and uh, the idea was, to also keep it not very complicated, because it's meant for also, like meditative purpose, and
yeah,
people
yeah.
should feel relief. So, I think it's fairly simple, and God's grace, it happened in a flow. It's
Awesome.
so also the arrangement and all. I'm trying to keep it very ambient, and
Yeah.
soon you will have it, and let me know what you think about it.
Of course, yeah. I mean, the one that was released earlier, that itself was so soulfully done, man. The one that Harshdeep sang with you earlier, the prayer.
You
Oh
know,
my God.
I would like to share this. We actually also did a bhajan together, which
Right.
quite some people don't know. In fact, Harshdeep just shared it, I think yesterday on her social media pages.
Yeah.
There was a bhajan called Shri Gurudev. That was again a kind of a similar thing. It was a long track, like
Awesome.
about a half an hour, 20,
Uh,
yeah, about half an hour long kind of a track. And that was again like a similar setup, very peaceful and meditative, and
mm, awesome. Um, cool. Look, I do have just one more question. I hope that's okay. You have had some long association with Mr. Ranjit Barot, right?
Yes.
I would, I do know that the whole focus of this podcast talks about Sir and stuff like that, which is no doubt about it. But however, Ranjit, I have to mention that there is a huge, huge fan following for Mr. Ranjit, and
Yes.
and Mr. Ranjit has worked with Sir for so long. Is there
Yeah.
anything? I mean, since you have a very close association with him, is there anything that you would like to share about him and the stuff that you have worked with him, and if there's anything cooking with him that will come out and stuff like that?
Actually, he's like a family. First of all, I would like to say
Yeah.
he's a guru.
Yeah.
He's a guru to me, and he is like an encyclopedia because we all know he's one of the best drummers our country has,
For sure.
and he's an amazing composer, producer. His musical ideas are like, he's done some stuff back in the 90s, which I would like to say this, and no exaggeration, like it's like it was pretty ahead of time.
Mhm.
And uh, I think there is so much to learn from someone like him, because even musically, it's been a great honor for me to also get to work with him, because he's again, like how before even I got to meet him, I was already listening to his work. And I remember reading his name on the album cover of Hamma, sorry, of
The Bombay. Yeah.
Bombay. On this
Wow.
Hamma mentioned additional rhythm programming
Wow.
by Vijit Barot.
Was that
So
his first collaboration with Sir? Just curious.
I maybe think so, because but he knew him right before,
Okay.
because Sir, I think before even he did Roja, Sir used to keep traveling to Bombay
Right.
for his ad work and all.
Yeah.
And Ranjit Sir and Rahman Sir had a similar setup.
Got it.
So when Sir would come to Bombay, he would actually use Ranjit Sir's setup to work here. And I think that's how the friendship started. And I guess this was right before even Bombay happened and Roja happened. But I guess maybe after maybe in Sir's Rahman Sir's film career, I guess maybe Bombay was the first project
Yeah.
on which they worked. This is what
Yeah.
I feel. I'm not
Yeah. Yeah.
sure
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
But Ranjit sir is amazing, and we have actually a band together. It's called Musafir, which he's the spearhead of that band, and we've been doing a lot of things together as well. We're working on some songs, and it's incredible. And there is a lot of times beyond music, there's so many things that he kind of shares with us, which is so important, and it just helps you personally, emotionally.
Nice.
So there's so much that I can actually keep talking about him, but I would like to say that it's one amazing experience and association, and a blessing, to know someone like him.
Awesome.
And of course, I think that he's also the musical director on Rahman Sir's shows.
Of course.
So yeah, he's a man.
And because when I was in the rehearsals, I could see the way he conducts things, and then there's a huge amount of respect for him. That's for sure.
The kind of the love and the bond that Rahman sir and Ranjit sir share, it's amazing. And I want to say that finally also my opportunity to work with Rahman sir happened.
Yeah.
I was actually I remember I was a part of this tribute we did for sir. I think it was 2012.
Yeah.
Jima, we did a tribute. I produced this thing with my friend Darshan Doshi. Sir had completed 20 years in the film industry, and there was a tribute which I had produced with my friend Darshan, and he was there in the audience.
Yeah.
And that happened, and then I think my name was referred, to get nominated as a keyboard player in his band.
Awesome.
So I remember I got a call from this company who was managing him that time, but I couldn't take that opportunity because I was already working on some other project as a composer, and I just really felt bad that I am missing out on this opportunity. But finally, I again got a call, and this time I had to get this opportunity.
Awesome.
And 2013,
Wow.
this is when I actually got to start. I started working with Sir on his gigs,
Awesome.
and there was a store called Rahmanishk, which happened through some cities in India, across India.
Yeah.
So so far, quite some things to be done, and it's looking ahead for all the action.
Of course. So The thing is, I mean, of course, you touched upon the opportunity to work with Sar, right? And then the thing is, when you first started working with him, what was it like, man? I mean, I honestly, if you ask me if I ever get to work with Sir for anything for that matter, I think I'll spend the first few years just admiring everything that he does. I may not do anything, but that will be me. But what was it like for you? I'm just curious.
See, it was for me also definitely because he's been uh, I actually forgot to mention this while I was talking about my
Yeah.
journey. That when Roja came out, it did change a lot of things for a lot of us, obviously,
Yes.
and
Yes.
even for me because uh, it, the way he got into dealing with
Hmm.
compositions with arrangements, and he just
Yeah.
showed a lot of us a
Hmm.
great direction
Hmm.
about how interesting, you know, it's just not about the main melody, it's just not about the composition. It is
Hmm.
definitely important, but
Hmm.
it's like everything is so important, the arrangement and all. So it did change a lot of things for me. So I was anyways already following his work. I was a fan. I'm
Hmm.
still a fan, and so it was like when this opportunity finally happened, it was definitely overwhelming for me.
Hmm.
Uh, and it was an opportunity for me to, in a way, also see him to work, from closely. How
Hmm.
he functions,
Hmm.
and it's amazing because he's
Hmm.
very much. I've seen him. He's like he if he's determined to do something, he'll do it. And
Yes.
he's for me also it was partly nostalgia because
Hmm.
at times when it still happens to me when we play these songs on the
Hmm.
stage, some songs are those songs which I was listening back when I was in my school,
Hmm. Hmm.
and I was in my college and learning and getting inspired, and
Hmm.
here I'm moment on the stage with him, with the man himself, playing that song. So it's very emotional, actually, frankly. There
Yeah.
are times when it just takes you back, and
Of
it's just
course.
that just holding tears at times, but it
Yeah.
is emotional. It's just you
Yeah.
just see things like a circle. But at the same time, the thing is, he makes sure he's a very hardworking
Hmm.
uh, you know human being,
Hmm.
composer,
Hmm.
and he
Hmm.
just and the best part is that he can just get the best out of you,
Hmm.
which is another thing. He's got an amazing vision.
Yeah.
Like when he sees an artist, he's so first of all he'll make an artist at ease, and he's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
He'll just make get the best out of anyone.
Of course. Of course.
I think he's a perfectionist. Like he just, if anything is not working, even in the rehearsals I've seen,
Yeah.
like when there are some three people on the stage,
Yeah.
musicians, dancers, production people. But if there is one small thing that is stuck, he'll make sure that gets moving, that gets sorted there itself.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is amazing. This is what it starts connecting things. Like someone who's been making such amazing music for all these years.
Yeah.
It's all coming from this personality. This nature of him. He's so passionate. About things.
Yeah.
That he's so excited about things.
Yeah.
Even if he's got a new keyboard, he's right away is going checking sound. So these are the things which you learn from someone like him beyond music, and it's a
Actually,
great experience.
on that note, may I ask you a question?
Yes.
Obviously, we both know that Sir is absolutely crazy about any new musical instrument that comes out, and he always loves to hang out in the musical stores in the US whenever he travels there. I had a question. Obviously, I don't know if he's still very attracted to the Continuum board. I know he was in the past, right? Is that what you call Continuum board?
Yeah, Continuum fingerboard. Yeah.
And what I wanted to ask you was a miniature version of the Continuum board also
Yes.
came. Does Sir
Yes.
have that?
Yeah. He uses actually on the shows. He sets it up all. So there is a bigger one,
Tiny
and there's even
one.
a smaller one.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God, he's
Yeah.
got that too. Because the
Yeah. And
reason
he's
why I asked you that is because I
36.
wanted to gift him something, and I was thinking, okay, that might be something that I'll get for him. And then I later thought, okay, if it's a musical instrument, he's gonna have it. So I got him
You know.
something else. But
Yeah. Frankly, I think. I mean, as a friend, I would suggest you should gift him maybe not a musical instrument, because it's quite the high chances he has it.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
so, because
Yeah.
that is the child, I think that is the sweet child part of him. He's always
Yeah.
excited, it's new,
Yeah.
and I mean, I've seen at times in rehearsals on the stage,
Yeah.
he's got a new keyboard and he's opened it up and he's checking it out. So yeah, but he does use the fingerboard, definitely.
Okay, got it. Okay.
It's really amazing.
Cool. Dude, the thing is, I mean, since we touched upon the rehearsal, right? So I have been to a few concerts where
Yeah.
I have been fortunate to witness the rehearsals and stuff like that, which has been a great experience, no doubt. And then also recently I was there in Trichy, as you know, and then I was part of the rehearsals. The thing is, when Sir was around, of course, when if something needs to be sorted out, he does
Yeah.
get that sorted out right then and there, and then goes to the next thing.
Yes.
With the little experience, or the how should I say it, the exposure that I've had with Sir, being around for rehearsals and then preparing for the concert, I have never ever seen him getting annoyed with absolutely anything. As in, he doesn't throw his tantrums. I have never seen it. So has Sir, or does he lose his cool at any point? I'm just curious. During the recording session indoors, or has that happened elsewhere, or he's generally a very very cool person? Because the way I have seen it is, if, for example, I do remember in Trichy, the rehearsal itself, he said, let's go for one of the tracks, and then it didn't start for like at least 1 minute. And then I was like thinking, I was just looking at Sir and I was thinking, okay, how is he going to react to this? And he just giggled. And
Yeah.
then after that 1 minute, of course, the track started and all that. That's a different thing. So I'm just curious, man. Like, look, you might find it silly with some of my questions, but it's like a childlike question, wanting to know more and more about my idol.
Yeah. So see, the thing is, generally, see, I mean, we're all humans. We all get
Yeah,
angry.
yeah.
He also gets angry, but the thing is, he deals with it with it really well, because
Yeah.
he may not necessarily, always get loud about it.
Yeah.
But when you see him, he's angry. Like
Okay.
there are. I mean, if he is angry,
Yeah.
and also the thing is, the reason I feel that he keeps it so cool is because we all know that, right? We all know that this. The thing is that when we are angry, we lose.
Of course.
So the thinking power goes down, right?
Yeah.
So it's like.
Yeah.
What do you say? It overpowers your knowledge in a way,
Yes.
and I think Sir pretty much follows that. So
Yeah,
obviously there are times when he's angry, when he's annoyed about things, but he deals it with this way. It's like maybe he just absorbs it, and
Mm.
because so that the next few moments, or the moments after that, they don't get spoiled.
Yep. Yep.
So.
So true.
He just deals it with, sometimes, when you look at him, he must be upset about something.
Yeah.
So he may just probably not talk at times.
Yeah.
Sometimes, because he's dealing with that, and
Yeah.
he's not really wanting to maybe do something, which probably also somewhere, negative energy, something like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Of course. Cool, man. Awesome. Dude, look, I can't resist asking about something. The thing is, I mean, when Harmony with ARRahman released, of course, I was waiting with bated breath before its release, and with the trailer and the teasers and all, whenever it came out. And now when it released, boom, came out with all the 5 episodes, and I was so glued, didn't move for a minute. I was totally absorbed into that in each of those episodes, and I was blown away, man. The kind of music
Yeah.
it produced, the sound that was produced out of the studio, and of course with pulling in artists from all over the world, all over India, of course, but still different parts of India. And one of the things, of course, was amazing was the grand finale, of course, right? The final episode, where got to see you sitting right next to Sir. And Of course, I would love to know more about that experience and what was the conversations between you and Sir. If you can just give us a little bit of.
Uh, Basically, I was actually before the shoot happened, I was called to Chennai, and
Yeah.
he said that he was working on this project, and
So,
the last episode is going to have this one big song, the
yeah.
one Moj song,
Yes.
which is in the final episode,
Yeah.
and he basically wanted me to work on the arrangements of the song,
Yeah.
and there was already something which he had already put in. There was some beautiful
Yeah.
stuff already on
Yeah.
there. But because there was this band of so many musicians, and then of course we had these wonderful musicians from the main guest artist. So I had already been to Chennai some days before this actually got shot.
Yeah.
To get a to get this. To understand what was this all about, he explained me the whole thing, and then
Mm.
I also sketched some parts. Now, me being in the video is a completely, it wasn't decided. It was completely not planned at all.
Okay.
I was there on the shoot because as I mentioned, I was
Yeah.
working on the arrangements of that big song.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and he's like, "Hey, you should also come." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, I'm completely not prepared. And
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, something." He said that you don't want to do it. I'm like, "Sir, I'm not prepared." So then he said that this is Chennai, anything can happen here. Smiling. And I'm like, no, just
Oh,
generally
you
t-shirt.
imitate just like him, man. Oh my God.
So, well, quite some people feel that. So, yeah, so I landed up being on the shoot actually. I was
Yeah.
there because we were
Yeah.
working on that arrangement. It was supposed to get shot the next day, and there was quite some work on it because, it's like a 22-minute song.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there was this, he had this formal meeting with all the artists where, as you see in the video, where he's explaining,
Mm. Mm.
where he's explaining the.
Was that actually a real meeting or for the shoot or what was it?
It was a real meeting. It was a real meeting.
Oh,
So it was
wow.
being shot, keep it very natural. So that's why they just shot it. And then he was like, come. And also, in a way, I was assisting him on that, the whole, as I mentioned, he also wanted me to arrange this thing, and,
Yeah.
to work on the instruments.
Yeah.
So he just mentioned to hang in there. And then, of course, you see me, holding a microphone and,
Yeah.
recording
Yeah.
conversation, because we had to somehow remember also, whatever is discussed. And so my seeing me on the camera over there was absolutely unplanned. But there was a real meeting. This was all discussed. And
Awesome.
right after the meeting, he mentions in the video that we're going to spend a sleepless night. So we did. Working right through the night. Because the shoot was scheduled right the next day. And but I just want to say that first of all, a big credit also goes to the entire team from Chennai.
Yeah.
There were all these people who were working on it. I'm a very small part of it. And even on the day of the shoot, there were also many musicians. And I want to say this, even there were so many people, there is this amazing leader quality that Sir has. That
Yeah.
he was conducting it all, and see, the thing is, people start getting tired at some point of time, right? And
Yeah.
there's so many, and this has to be finished. But the way Sir was dealing with this, and he's amazing. He keeps
Wow.
that energy going. He keeps everyone happy, and he just made everyone cruise through that. It was one long night for sure.
Wow.
But he because he's spearheading this whole thing. Amazing. I really feel like saying this genuinely, because that's another beautiful quality he has. When you're working with him, he just a lot of times he makes the process very seamless. It just
Amazing, man.
there was a lot of work being put on that for sure, and
Of
luckily, I think a lot of people loved it, and
Yeah.
it was really well.
Yeah. Awesome,
fact,
man.
But some people were asking for the next part.
Yes.
Next season.
Will it come? Or don't know?
Really don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
in fact, I also expressed her about it that people are asking, uh, but I'm not sure really about.
Yeah. It'll be
The
amazing though.
director, Shruti, she's done an amazing work also.
Yeah,
Shruti,
she
she's
has. She has.
amazing. The whole
The visuals were stunning too, man. And
beautiful.
I think, look, of course, when the first episode came out, of course, it came all together. But in the first episode is when where we got to see Sir cycling and all. It was so amazing to see him, man, because
Yeah,
you obviously don't get to see it in a normal life. No way in hell, right?
yeah, yeah.
And him trying. I don't know if Sir is really fluent in Malayalam, but he actually tried speaking in Malayalam with that guy. And it was so
Yeah.
funny to see him do that. It was just amazing, man. Of course, it was a Tamil mixed, English mixed Malayalam, but it was good.
Yeah, I think he has roots from Malayalam, right? I
Yeah,
think so.
yeah,
So, but yeah, the best part of that whole thing was it was so much of a casual part of it was his
yes,
casual
yes,
side,
yes. It was great.
and it was. I completely understand. I completely dig in what you're trying to say. That whole informal. He was so loosened up, and it was amazing.
Yep, yep, that's the best part. That's the best part. And of course, as I said to you, buddy, the thing is, I think almost every Sunday, the Harmony with AR Rahman plays on Amazon Prime at home. That's especially when I'm cooking at home and I play that from episode one to the last. And it plays, and of course, I get to see you every Sunday in that episode five. And yeah, that's what I mentioned to you when we were speaking earlier. So it's amazing, man. It's such a honor to be in the same frame as the legend himself and then working with him. So you guys are all very blessed, man. I mean, of course, you're extremely talented, no doubt about it, and hence why it was all meant to be, and you were meant to be here with him. That's amazing, and of course, we're all the privileged where
Yes,
we actually get to hear the music that you guys produce.
I really want to say equally it feels privileged and blessed, to be working with someone like Rahman sir, because I genuinely mean it. Because
Yeah.
it's um, like I remember once I was having a conversation with Shankar Mahadevan sir,
Mm,
and he said a very beautiful thing. He's like, it's a very simple thing, but
mm,
he said that God brings together all the good people,
mm.
and I really connect to that, because and
Wow.
also I feel that when you're really passionate about something, and when you really believe very hard and
Mm,
with all the heart, you get to achieve those things,
mm,
and it be also working with people. So for me, it's always been a blessing. All the names I mentioned that I've
mm,
been working, and obviously Rahman sir.
mm,
So, at some point of time, I've just been maybe a school going
mm,
boy, college going kid,
mm.
and just listening to all this music and being a fan. But, and always having that strong desire to sometime at some point of time get to work with them.
Mm.
And when I'm experiencing that, when it's happening in reality, I really take it very humbly. It's humbling. It's really a big blessing.
Yeah.
And as you're saying, it's mutual, man. It really feels a sense of blessing for someone like me as well. It's great, and actually, I think it's great that we are in an era where we are witnessing, such
Wow,
amazing.
very well said. This is my favorite line ever
Yeah,
because I strongly believe that there's never ever going to be another AR Rahman, man. And then I want to feel extremely proud and privileged to be existing in this era. That's it. And I want to make the most of it. No questions asked.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. For sure, yeah.
thing is, I mean, you also worked on something really special and it was released recently. And of course, I'm talking about 99 songs.
Yes,
And this is one song that really has touched millions and millions of people. And then it has touched my heart straight from the first time I started listening to that. And of course, as we both know, there are some songs which takes time, it grows on you, especially a
yeah,
typical Sir song. And but there are some songs which are like instant poisons. This is
yeah,
one of them. and especially with this song, it touches emotionally.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, my question is though, what is it that you guys do to create this magic, where this sound actually touches someone's emotion? And I'm saying this because, especially in the the later part of the song, when the high note happens, oh my
Yeah.
God, I
Oma.
was oh my, I was in tears, man. And of course, I had various reasons, but I was wondering, how did you guys know that that needs to happen there, and this will create the magic? Because for me, if I had to pick one song which touches my heart, absolutely, I love all the songs from the album, no doubt about it. But Oh Ashika will stand out always for me, because every time I hear, there's actually another question added on to this, right? Sorry, I'm increasing
No.
my number of questions, but that's how curious I am.
Yeah.
Especially with this song again, it's one is, what was the process that went into making a song like this? And the second question is, not just this song, but in mostly in all the songs that, of course, Sir does the work and you guys are part of that project, why do I feel that there is a new sound that I discover in almost every hearing? It amazes me because
Yeah.
I was recently listening to, the Tirda Tirda album
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
very long ago, and the Veerapandi Kottaile song. Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
yeah. I was listening to this in my car. It was just 2 weeks ago when I was bringing back stuff from my office, and I felt I heard a new sound in that. I've heard that song for thousands and thousands of times, but I felt there is a new sound that I just discovered. Is it
Yeah.
just me, or tell me more about this, man? I know I have a number of questions bundled into one, so you can take as long as you want, but I would love to hear.
See, I think I'm glad you asked this question. That why do you feel that you're discovering things, new things again and again? And the way I perceive this question, and if I have to talk on this as a as a
Yeah,
musician or a
yeah,
composer or a producer, is there's a lot of detailing that goes
yeah.
in when you're doing a song. It be
Mm,
composition,
mm,
it be musical arrangement, programming.
mm,
I would say that like we've all grown up listening to all these greats. Like even when I was as we just spoke about, like when Thiruda Thiruda and all that happened. I mean, I was, even if I was in my school, but I was heavily getting influenced and
mm,
inspired listening
mm,
to this
mm,
amazing work. So one of the qualities which I very strongly feel Rahman sir's music has had is that the idea of detailing,
mm,
and the detailing is to that extent that you may not catch up on things right away, but when you're listening to it, again and again and again, that's when you start noticing things. Oh, it had, there are so many songs that, as Thiruda Thiruda, for example, now it came out in the 90s, but still today you may suddenly be surprised with something that you thought you never heard about.
mm,
And no offense towards the music that we are listening nowadays. No offense against it, but there's a lot of the fast food
mm,
approach to
mm,
songs. Is
mm,
it's like, I'm not against the fact that I'm not saying that you should not work fast, but
mm,
at the same time, you should not try to do shallow piece of work. All
mm,
this work
mm,
that we listen to, since we're talking about Rahman's work, it's so deeply done. Like for example, an album like Dil Se, for example, or even Rangila, there is
mm,
so much of complexity involved
mm,
in the layers, and there is so much of layers of information
mm,
that makes whole beautiful sense. That makes
mm,
that song sound so beautiful. So it's actually the way I understand it is it's all that detailing and all that hard work that's been put up. There are a lot of layers which are not obviously audible, directly. Like for example, a vocal, you may hear it right on the face because that's driving the song.
mm,
But there are so many small elements which are such that they are there, but you're not directly listening to them. And if you read those layers, you will notice something is missing. It's like that. So it's that detailing, and in a way, I think me and a lot of my friends, we grew up listening to and kind of trying to develop this style of music, putting in detailing and trying to make it interesting, because it's all like cooking food. Like you just write ingredients, and the more ingredients you mix, you have to be careful. At the same time, you are creating something more tastier, and it's like a pinch of this spice and a pinch of that spice and this, and maybe you're using some 10 spices, but all that mixed up in the right combination gives you that taste. So it's same with songs, and because it has so many things, you start to keep rediscovering things again and again and again.
Wow.
So that is the thing. And as far as O Ashika is concerned, so when I was called to work on that song, Sir had already laid the composition, and there was some track, and
Yeah.
he was he just said that he wanted something very new, and he played me some references also, and he gave me the liberty to just do like what I felt like. And then see, the best thing with him is you will put in all the things, and then he'll take it, and then he will make something else. You can hear what you've done, but he's made that, he's put that magic. So it's it was pretty much like I was given the space to express myself on the song, as a while arranging it, producing it. And yes, there is this amazing there are some other names also credited as who've done some additional programming, so I would also credit to them also, and all the other people, the musicians. Keba is amazing guitar player, played guitars on it. So there's a lot of everyone's soul gets added to the thing. As far as the song is concerned, I mean, so that's him, that's Sir, right? I mean, even the Oma part, what you're saying, that's it's all him. And also everything that has been done, it's under his supervision. He has the vision, he knows where this thing has to go, and it's writing. And he has a very great thing of he'll if in case, I mean, he likes to keep trying things, find out where it goes, where it leads, push the envelope, to the best, till a point you reach that, okay, it's not going henceforward, so change the direction. So a lot of that kind of space that everyone gets, and
Awesome.
I think
So the thing is, I mean, with the O Ashika song again, any thoughts around how long was the actual thing? How long did it actually take for a song like this to come out? I mean, the work that's gone behind.
It's so I remember kind of spending, I guess, 7 to 8 days actually in Chennai, because I remember I was there. I went there for just 2 or 3 days actually, but eventually landed up being there for I had to just pay one trip back, because I wasn't prepared for that long of a thing. I was there for 8 to 10 days actually. But I would say I worked on that song for almost I mean, I was in Chennai working on it for, I think, 5-6 days in a way.
Awesome.
But the process is pretty evolving, because after I did my stuff, the song was there, and then some things changed, and then there is this amazing team of musicians in Chennai. They also some stuff on it. Sir, he must have had some changes to be done. I was in touch with Dilshad, my friend, who's been the assistant to Sir on this project.
Yes.
And he was kind of telling me like some things are getting changed, and there was a different groove that I had done for the song. The rhythm section was different, which got changed with something else. So I am not in a position to tell you how many days or hours it exactly took, but
I know.
it was
It
keep
evolves.
evolving. Song kept evolving with time, and that's how it's basically any piece of music. Especially when you have time. You
Yeah.
when you come back to it after some time, you feel that, oh, this could be done,
Yeah.
or it can always. You want to make sure that till the song is with you, before it releases, you just put in all the best, because
Mm.
once it's out, then it's out.
Yeah, I know.
Then there's, yeah. So it was a gradual process, and
Okay.
also with 99 songs, there were so many other songs that were being
Of course.
simultaneously worked on,
Of
and
course.
plus, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's taken some time, but yeah, all for the best.
Of course. The thing is, I mean, look, I've heard Sir say this in one of his interviews in the past, where he said, as you said, it's a process of evolving. So
Yeah.
basically, of course, you go about adding layer after layer, and then keep adding. And then my question is, though, at what point does you or yourself as Sir's team and then Sir know that this is it, stop it, and move on? Or does that never happen at all and you just keep coming back? When do you know when to stop?
It's a great question, actually. Sometimes you know that you have to stop because the producer is standing right next to
Okay.
you. He wants the song. He's like, my film is releasing in a few days, and you better give me the song.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay.
that is it. But frankly, uh, uh, well, there's always a sense of you feel it, when you've done and when you think that
Mm,
the song has enough,
mm,
and you gradually, with whatever little bit of experience you have. I mean, for example, with my little bit of experience, whatever I've had for these years, there's a sense of understanding. I mean, a sense of completion that I feel that now this is it.
mm,
It doesn't need,
mm.
because it's like, you don't want to overbake anything.
Right.
Which is another
Right.
very
Yeah.
important thing, and uh, something that I've learned from
Mm,
a lot of my idols, Rahman sir also, is
mm,
that
mm.
you may be knowing 100 things, but you don't need to show all the 100 things in that one song.
Okay.
So the most important thing is to understand what that piece of music or what that song needs. Once
Mm,
you've got that cleared in your mind, you just you should just realize that the song is breathing. The intent of the song has to be conveyed.
mm,
That's why, when you're producing a song, you don't want it to get overproduced. Sometimes a song is complete with just maybe a piano and a guitar, or maybe just the guitar or just the piano.
mm, mm,
That's what the song needs. There are
mm.
so many songs we hear, right, which don't really have
Yeah.
intense,
Yeah.
complicated,
Yeah.
because the composition and the just that one instrument is more than
Yeah.
enough to convey
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
message
Yeah.
song. And I think um, that's where is the thing. But what happens, like for example, when you're working with Sir, sometimes maybe you thought that it was all fine, but then maybe Sir, he had something else in his mind, or
Mm,
maybe that triggered something else to him, and he would say that, hey, this is
yeah.
good, but you know what, you can maybe get rid of this section,
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can add something. So it's like an experiment also, in a way.
Mm, mm,
We're trying
mm.
to reach this goal which keeps going.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much, it's there's no really fixed path for it. It's like
Mm, mm,
till
mm.
everyone feels correct about, everyone feels right about. It's always, it's like bringing it to a mean position, an average
Mm,
understanding and satisfaction of everyone. Like if
mm.
I was asked to attempt for a song, so I came up to something where I felt as satisfied me. Then Sir comes, and then Sir will say that, you need to do these things. So then again, I'll work and I'll try to balance what Sir's saying, and then maybe it'll go back to Sir and he'll work on it. Maybe some other musician will get work, and then eventually it's like, as it's like a average of everyone's thing, like everyone's satisfied. Yeah, it's great. Obviously in Sir's case, he has the final vision. So as long as it meets what he's aiming, to song to have, it's finalized there. At the same time, I would like to mention, which is very important, when
Mm,
you're catering to film music, the song is not just about the song itself. It's also probably there's a visual, some story based on the
mm,
song.
mm.
So it's not that you can just do anything. It has to also justify where it's going to be coming in the film. You know,
True. True.
basically carrying forward the story. So
Right.
those things
Of course.
also become.
Yeah. Nicely answered, man. Yeah, it's a very comprehensive response that I got. So thank you so much for that. And of course, the song actually goes, or any music or any
Yeah.
sound goes through an internal review process as well, right? That's what I hear
Yes.
within before it gets out, quite obviously. And then, out of curiosity, though, this might sound extremely silly. Let's say there's a guy who serves chai and stuff like that inside the studio to Sir and you guys. Does he get to hear that sound, that music, and does he have a say? Or does he get
Uh,
asked as to, did you like this song? I'm just curious.
frankly, I've not seen that.
Okay.
Like I've not seen Sir asking that, but I have heard about this with some other composers.
Okay.
Like in cases when there is a song which has to be like a proper mass commercial song, right?
Got it.
It has to be played in auto rickshaws and so I'm just saying generally.
Yeah, yeah.
So I've heard of some composers they're doing that. They may call their their car driver or maybe
Yeah,
someone delivers chai to them and there are I don't want to take names but I've heard of this been done.
Yeah,
With
okay.
Sir,
Yeah.
sure, he he sometimes he's curious to play something he will play something and then he may ask like what's your feeling about it.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
he's very sure about what he wants a lot of times.
Got it.
So,
Yeah, of course.
it's like just you just want to know perspective.
Got it.
What do you
Okay.
think?
Yeah.
But it's similar with it's something similar when you're asked to produce a song. It's like Sir is one of the best music producers we have in our countries, and he can do it all. But sometimes when he wants you to come on board, it's like he's wanting to get your point of view on the song. He's wanting to maybe like Chucky, let's see what you think about it. So then if it be me or someone else, who's working on it, and then he takes it and he's like, "Acha, that's what do you think about it? Okay,
Got
great."
it. Okay.
You know what I mean. So it's also
Yeah,
this
yeah.
way of looking.
I mean, the reason why I asked you this was because still remember, I think it was in one of Sir's Instagram videos. This is going back 3-4 months ago or something, where I think he was in the US going somewhere, and then he played one of the final mixes of Dil Bechara, and then was it in the US or was it in India? Might be on the way to the airport in Chennai. I think vaguely remember
So I
that.
think I missed that Instagram post, but yeah, okay,
So I was
okay.
just thinking, was
Oh yeah, I remember. I remember you put that. Yeah.
yeah. So hence why I was curious. Okay, he probably does let his driver listen and get his view on. Hey, what do you think of this sound, or what do you think of this song types? So I was just curious. That's
Yeah.
all.
I mean, as I mentioned, honestly, I don't think I've not seen him do that, but I think he must be doing it.
He may have.
And it's so it's also like it's a very what do you say, a very kind thing also to do,
Yeah.
to take
Yeah.
feedback from people.
Of
I
course.
mean,
Of course. Yeah.
when I play a song to the guys who work in my studio, and if I've composed something, I just play them at times, and I just ask them, "What do you think? Do you think
Yeah.
it'll work?" Things like those, and because frankly, a lot of times the listener is maybe not a musical, highly musically educated person. The
Yeah.
listener could be
Yeah.
he just listens to music just for sake of entertainment, or so.
Right.
If you think that the song is catering even a wide range of audiences, you may want to take an
Of course.
opinion, which is
Of course.
not at all wrong.
Of course.
So some might
Yeah.
be doing it.
Awesome. Cool, man. Look, we're almost coming towards the end of this podcast, man, and it's one amazing. I mean, the thing is, talking about Sir, talking about music.
I think I hope we got the things. Maybe I spoke a lot on some things. So you
No,
may-
no. But there's still last two more questions to go. We are not done yet, but it's just amazing, man, because I feel that if we had that time, we could have just gone about speaking for hours and hours and hours in Trichy itself when we were there. But of course, I'm sure when I make an exclusive trip to India later this year after the Corona ends, I will definitely spend some time in Mumbai just so that I can hang out with you and
Great,
Dilshad and
man.
you guys.
That'll be great.
The thing is, though, I just have two last things to ask you, right? Um, of course, there's going to be some hardcore surf fans listening and watching this podcast. Have you got any suggestions for them? Because the way I see it is they are going to find this conversation very inspiring, to the depth to which you answered all the questions. And they might be the, of course, I personally know a couple of them who are really talented themselves, and they go about uh, playing Sir's music in their piano and then keyboard and whatnot, and then they share it with others. And sometimes I'm amazed that they are able to create something close to what Sir is creating. So,
Yeah.
any suggestions, any piece of advice for them, just so that it inspires them to take things forward? Because the fact that, of course, you're yourself a music producer and you have worked with others, and of course you're working with Sir as well. So anything that you want to suggest or advise to them, to the fellow listeners who
See,
want to
uh,
be.
yeah, I mean, to be frankly, I mean, I don't know if I'm, I mean, what will I advise, because I'm myself, I'm a student, frankly. I'm still learning and, but I would like to share a point of view with
Yeah.
everybody. Is
Mm,
that one is, and these are the things that I've learned, from all the people
mm,
I've got to work with, Rahman sir, and since we're talking about him, I would say I've learned these things from someone like him. One is, you have to really believe yourself. You have to really follow your heart, because a lot of times we tend to compare our work, or ourselves with someone else.
mm,
And this may be not a very musical answer, but it's very
mm,
important. I think, is
mm,
it's very easy to get judged yourself and maybe underestimate yourself,
mm,
because maybe if you are idolizing someone or someone's
mm,
music, you
mm,
probably expect things to start happening in your life like it happened to that person.
mm,
And I think that's not correct, because every person has his, her, or her own way of upbringing, and
mm,
you know what I mean. So,
mm,
like for example, if you follow Rahman's music so much, and if you're a big fan of him, and if you're also an aspiring composer,
mm,
producer,
mm.
uh, you should learn stuff from his music, but don't try to have his life, or don't try to
Correct.
imitate him,
Yeah.
or try to think what happened to him maybe when he was at
Yeah.
25 years of age, or it
Yeah.
should happen to you as well. Just an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
It's because it's never going to happen that way.
Mm,
Everyone is he's had a different
mm, mm,
journey, and all of us have a different journey. So that's very important, because the reason is, as humans, we tend to get disheartened and discouraged and
mm,
depressed at times. When you try to compare yourself with someone else or someone
mm,
else's life, and when that doesn't work out, so you
mm,
have to always is that your journey is going to be different. And something that I've learned very heavily from Sir's music is, what is that X factor that you bring to the table? When your music is
mm,
being played, what is that thing that you did which becomes yours, which becomes like your signature? Because Rahman Sir's music has been like that. Like for
mm,
me, haven't heard him for all these years. There was
mm,
one thing which I strongly learned was his music was experimental at times, was simple but soulful,
mm,
was adventure. There was always that sense of, this is something new. This is
mm,
I didn't
mm,
think about. Where did this come from? So that is a very important thing. That, see,
mm.
eventually when we get influenced with someone's music, you may start sounding like that musician or composer, which is fine, but you should move on from that point also.
Mm.
And I see Sir, he a lot of times with all of us, he wants all of us to move ahead and evolve. And that's the thing also that makes him so great.
For sure.
So you should find your own sound. You definitely, there will be always inspirations and influences,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
you should end up making a mark which is which is yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
People should know you more for what you have done,
Mm.
and this is what I'm just would like to share with all my friends, that please respect your voice, your sound. Do not compare yourself with others because each one of us are different,
Correct.
and work hard. I don't think there is any shortcut to that,
Shortcut.
frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, work
Very
hard
well said. Yeah.
and all the things, I'm telling you, these are the things that we've all. I mean, I've learned out of Remansa's work,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
listen to. Yeah, I mean, since
Yeah.
we're talking about, you know, the great Rahman, so and I would like to connect my answer to his music and the inspiration that he's done to us.
Of
I
course.
think.
Well done, man. I mean, yeah, great, great one. I'm sure there'll be a lot of talents out there who would be taking away from such a great response. And, dude, I just have one last question for you.
Sure.
Uh, and the thing is, I mean, Sir is definitely going to be listening slash watching this. And having having said that, would you like to say anything to Sir if you had 10 seconds? Doesn't have to be 10 seconds, but if there's anything that you want to tell Sir, it could be anything, absolutely anything.
Well, right now I will not speak as as someone who works with him, or
Yeah,
but
yeah,
sir, just want to tell you that definitely we all love you a lot, and your music is something that is it was never just entertainment for us, but it's been a huge support, and it just makes a lot of meaning. I mean, there are for me personally, I when I
yeah.
listen to some of the stuff, I want to listen to his music at times, to feel better, to get healed,
Mm,
and it's there are a lot of things which are actually beyond words, but
yeah,
genuinely want to thank you for all the love. And there is that one thing in you, sir, that you always take care of all of us. You're always watching at all of us. It be shows or it be when we are around, and you're always we know that you're always looking ahead to encourage us, to push us. So just want to thank you for everything, and we love you.
awesome, man. Such a great, great conversation. I totally loved it, buddy. And I'm pretty sure this will bring a huge smile on him when he sees this. And of course, I'm sure he will tell you that, hey, I heard you speak this.
Like, so yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Dude, I just want to say a big,
Yeah.
big thank you from the bottom of my heart, buddy. But for the fact that for all the greatest memories that I have had in Trichy, and the amazing friendship that I share with you, and I feel very honored, man. Thank you so much,
Brilliant,
man.
man.
And then
Really, same.
and the fact that you came forward to support me in this little small initiative that I have, just as a tribute to Sir. That's all it is, and you still came forward and supporting me in this little initiative. Thank you so much, man. It means a lot.
It's definitely a mutual pleasure for me and for you as well. You're amazing, man. I really love your energy. You're so
Thank
friendly, and yes, also because it's for the man, who's Rahman
Yeah.
sir himself. So anytime.
Awesome, buddy. Thank you so much, man. And I'm really, really looking forward to catching up again. I'm sure it's going to happen really soon. And thank you so much for coming over, man.
Thank you, my pleasure.